going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pick and Roll on the Board YouTube channel. We're here for some NBA playoff betting and previews, as well as reaction to some crazy results and some crazy performances from yesterday's games. But as always, we encourage you to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with all the great content we have coming for you over the course of the playoffs, and follow us on Twitter to stay updated on when we're going to add in some new content as well at the Board HQ. But as we always do, the agenda for the show today, we're going to recap yesterday's plays. We're going to go into the official bet for today and then talk about some certain stories around the NBA today. We'll definitely be talking about Jimmy Butler's insane performance yesterday. But as for our recap, unfortunately, the playoffs have not treated us well thus far this season. And our record is now at 134 and 100 to 109. And we're at plus 10 units, flat 3.5% ROI. So still quite profitable, but with yesterday's loss, we take another hit here as Anthony Davis and Ja Morant, really neither of them came close here. AD in particular really struggled yesterday against the Memphis Grizzlies. And Pips, we just spoke about it, but do you want to elaborate here for the show on what you saw that went wrong for this bet?
Yeah, this one wasn't even close. We had so many close losses, and this one wasn't close at all. The adjustment on the AD, so completely game to game, complete change of the way they defend. Can't predict that, and yeah, AD looked great in game 3. They double teamed him whenever he tried to isolate in the game 4, while they didn't in the game 3. Poor ending. Ja Morant couldn't get going on the other side at all. Also, way more attention to him. So this is the result we get. I will say betting first game of the series and second game of the series could be quite enjoyable. But further into the series, game 5, game 4, even game 3 is they are just adjusting a ton, and bookies have adjusting the lines a ton. So not much value in betting in like game 5 of the series unless you have some unbelievable lead.
Yeah, unfortunate with that bet there. Again, we've had a pretty frustrating playoff so far, as Rypro has said in the chat. Hopefully, we get things going today. And as you said, you need a good play. Hopefully, today, there is a good play here. And we're going back to the Timberwolves and Nuggets here. And I mean, there's been some outstanding performances from these two over the course of this series. Unfortunately, not in the game 3, but looking for more in game 5. Let's go to FanDuel to get this official pick. And we have Anthony Edwards, 25 plus points for the Timberwolves. And we're going to pair that in a same game parlay with Nikola Jokic on the alternate line of over 21.5. That gets us to minus 107 odds over here. So, Pips, walk us through this one. I mean, it's pretty similar, I imagine, to what we did have in that game 3. But what do you like about going back to this one today? And what do you see for the matchups? Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, last 3 games, scored 41, 36, 34. No adjustments whatsoever in this series, entire series from Edwards. He's getting the same looks, same kind of defense. So I'm just thinking like Malone is not someone that usually adjusts during the series. So if he loses some bets during adjustment, I'll try to go with some that I'm almost for sure that won't see any adjustments. Also, last 3 games, he shot 23, 22, and 27 times from the floor, and he scored 25 or more points in 30 straight games with 20 or more field goal attempts. So that's kind of great for him. Rim protection is not great with Jokic inside, so Edwards is going to the rim a great amount. He averaged 9 free throws in this series, and we could combine 9 free throws a game with 20 or more field goal attempts. That should be more than enough to cover this line. As I said, 34 points in 3 straight games. First one was a blowout. No one to really defend him on this Denver team. No, there is no lockdown defender that can do great against Edwards. He's just amazing. He said a statement last game. No one. He said, "I will never be blown out in the series."
Yep.
And yeah, if he can just continue being that kind of player, and I'm for sure think he'll need to be aggressive again tonight. He should cover this line against not so great defense. And on the other side, after being short one field goal attempts, one field goal made in the game 3 from Jokic, we had 43 points from Jokic in the last game. And that was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I need to close out this series, and they haven't. And I think tonight, another closeout opportunity for Jokic. And they didn't had a great start to the last game. I think we need to see Jokic aggressive from early game. He's showed us last game that he can score at will in this series, like one-on-one against Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Jokic is unstoppable one-on-one, and I think he should do great against either. And I hope Wolves let him get everything, try to stay at their other players, not allow him to have easy assists, and they won. And that's the thing. I think they need to stick to that kind of defensive scheme. That needs to be their plan again, because that worked. I mean, if anyone told you like Jokic will score 43 points and you'll win against Denver, that's not. So yeah, I think they should be good with Jokic going one-on-one against Gobert and Towns and getting his, while no one else is getting their part. So that's why I decided to go with this bet. I don't expect any adjustment from either side, and it worked very well in the last game.
All right. Sounds great on that one. So Edwards 25 plus, Jokic over 21.5. That is the play on FanDuel for -107. Let's talk some ball here. And one thing, there's a few things obviously we could talk about, but the one thing in particular that I want to focus on today. Oh my goodness. I was a bit busy yesterday. I was at the Toronto Blue Jays game. I was watching Maple Leafs playoffs, but I did watch the fourth quarter of this one. Jimmy Butler put the Miami Heat on his back all throughout the game. They went on a 13-0 run in the fourth quarter. They have Milwaukee on the brink in this series, up 3-1. This is just insane. An 8 seed potentially beating a 1 seed. Giannis was back for this one, but Butler's 56 points. Amazing efficiency. Took over in the clutch. This was an all-time playoff performance. Himmy Butler indeed. Pips, your thoughts on the game as a whole, and obviously your comments on Jimmy Butler here. I mean, this is crazy. How you feeling?
One of the best games we are seeing in the playoffs, especially for a game 8 seed against the first seed, and we have 8 seed up to 3-1, and the series somehow yet 50-50 almost at the bookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I kind of want to take Miami at that, to be honest.
It only takes one bad shooting night for Bucks in next 3 games to lose the game.
Yeah.
But when you look at the roster without Hero, and it's interesting. Like I saw some good meme on my Twitter feed about Bema Adebayo when before the All-Star. Amazing, great season. He's All-Star. He's amazing. And then after All-Star, his downswing, and then playoffs non-existent. I mean, on offense, he was great on defense. That's for sure. So he's like this, and then you have Jimmy Butler throughout the regular season, not doing anything unbelievable, just playing great basketball, but nothing out of the world. And then when the playoffs start, he's just best player in the league. That's amazing. And this isn't the first time it happened. We know the bubble, Jimmy Butler. And last night, his shot making and confidence in his shot making was just unbelievable.
Yeah. For Jimmy Butler, it's so strange. So I saw, I'm sure a lot of people on Twitter saw this photo. It was like Jimmy Butler at the start of the season. It's like, man, this guy doesn't care about basketball. Then end of the season, it's like, wow, Jimmy Butler's amazing. Then you get to the playoffs and you're like, this is Michael Jordan reincarnated. Bam Adebayo is the complete opposite. Start of the season, you're like, wow, this guy's taking a step. He's going to go crazy. Then by the playoffs, you go, this guy doesn't care about basketball. What's going on? But Jimmy Butler, this is unbelievable. This is the performances he's putting on, even though we've seen it before. But, you talk about the bubble and how impressive that was. What's crazy is the year after that, when the Bucks played Miami again, Miami lost in 4. Jimmy Butler had 58 total points in that 4-game series against the Bucks. He got outscored in a 4-game stretch of games by Bryn Forbes, of all people. Well, Butler had 56 alone yesterday against the Bucks. So that is just crazy. And they would become, I'm looking it up here, the 6th team to ever upset a 1 seed in the first round. And if I'm not mistaken, they would be only the 3rd team to do it in a 7-game series rather than a 5-game series. This hasn't happened since 2010, 2011, when the 8 seed Grizzlies beat the Spurs in the first round. So this is, the last time was Philadelphia 76ers in 2012 against the Chicago Bulls. That is the last time this has happened. So it's very rare. This is extraordinary. And yeah, the odds would certainly reflect how crazy this would be, because Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, they were favored by, I think, 8 points yesterday. Giannis, you have to assume, is going to, continue to get better here. But at this point, like, can you see Milwaukee turning this around and still winning the series?
Yeah, I think that's possible. I think 50-50 makes sense, because with Giannis playing great and they are a much better team. If we didn't have Butler 56 points and he scored 40, that won't be enough. So if we have one, I mean, yeah, that's we maybe need, like, this could be a game where Butler scored 56 and Bucks won. It was very close, and we just need maybe another Bucks 30% or lower from 3-point line in order for Miami to win.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. They are shooting almost half of their shots from the 3-point line, and if it's not going in, that will be difficult. But I'll say, going forward, I think Bucks are way, way better team than we saw in the last game. And yeah, I think this is like good 50-50 for the rest of the series.
The Bucks were up comfortably like the entire game until the 4th. It was just, they went cold. The Heat took over. Lowry had a decent 4th quarter as well.
Yeah,
but Butler,
they never made it a big difference. Heat stayed close the entire game. I just like,
they hung around.
Let's see if it's a like 7 to 8 point game and we get 4 quarter crazy Jimmy Butler, and that happened.
And it happened. So I think Milwaukee will win Game 5, but Game 6, Miami was loud yesterday. Like, that is a hostile environment to go and play and win a game when you're on the brink. This would be some feat from Milwaukee, I think, to come back in this series.
I have one question. So, how is it that Drew Holiday, whenever it's a playoffs, he forgot how to shoot? Like, that's
I don't know. He had that one late 3, but other than that, he was not shooting the ball well.
So over the last 3 seasons with Bucks, he's shooting 39% from the field, 30% from 3 in the playoffs, while he's in the regular season 50% and 40%. So 10% lower on field goal and threes in the playoffs. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So he had very, very inefficient game. I think he was 1 from 10 from 3 before making that last 3. Yeah.
He's 2 of 11 in the game as a whole.
Yeah. So very poor.
I'll say to that point, some people, and Jimmy Butler proves this point, some people are built for this. Some people are just built for the playoffs, and Jimmy Butler 100% is. And ACC reminds me something about the Sixers here. Not only did the Sixers choose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler, they also chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. And look at Jimmy Butler now, what he does. I just got to appreciate the greatness we're seeing right now.
I want to mention one guy that didn't get the praise because they lost, but Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
Man, like 2023 Brook Lopez.
36 points. I think he had a double-double as well.
Yeah, he's 35. He's 35, just made 36 points, scored 4 threes, and just murdered them inside, and was also good on defense against anyone not named Jimmy Butler. Just kind of absurd for 35-year-old player that was first off was post guy and we not great on defense. Now one of the defensive player of the year candidate that can shoot threes and still score in the post and inside. That's just unbelievable career for Brook Lopez. And
yeah, 100% agree. You either evolve with the league or the league passes you by. You know, I look at guys like Drummond and who's the other one? DeMarcus Cousins, who just didn't evolve with the times. You know, not to be disrespectful to them, but here's a guy like Brook Lopez who just completely evolved his game. And another one I think of, like Marc Gasol, shot like 1 3 in his first 6 seasons in the league. And then by the time he retired, he was a guy who could hit threes at a consistent rate. So, yeah, full credit to him. It wasn't enough. Jimmy Butler is looking unstoppable. Bucks have a lot on their plate here, but we'll see how that all pans out. And we'll see how this bet pans out tonight here. We have one official play for today. We have in the Timberwolves-Nuggets game, Anthony Edwards, 25+ points, Nikola Jokic over 21.5 points, and that is -107 odds at FanDuel. Thank you guys so much for checking out the show once again. Let's get the playoffs back on track and get us a win tonight. Me and Pips, as always, we'll be back tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll. We hope to see you there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop a like to show your support. Thanks again.